Recording, right? I think yes. Okay. Hmm, 1 minute. See, if you Pratap, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah.
Okay. For it.
Make it big. Make it big,
Okay.
Girish. Yeah, please. Yeah.
So now, will you able
Mm-hmm.
to? So
Yes.
for a default, we discussed, right? For
Yes.
any type of request, create, change, whatever associated request. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
default rule result would be the same. There is no difference. But whereas
Okay.
if we
Mm-hmm.
create custom, okay, we will
Mm-hmm.
create, we will map in the fifth stage. Fifth stage for each path.
So,
Okay.
oh,
So if you
mm-hmm.
observe the sandbox separate path. So each rule result value we will define our own path for mapping. So that what exactly it will happen, request will not go to default path for any request type. It will trigger for each request tab. Suppose based on the rule result, it will trigger for each specific path. So that if one stage approval, then it will goes to one
Mm-hmm.
stage approval we will configure. If it is a two
Okay.
stage approval, then it will two. The rule result value will make the differ in the custom. The same solution which we will not be performed in the standard. That is how the custom will come to picture. There is a menu to menu scenario, but you will come to know maybe after 5 or 6 scenarios how
Okay.
we can
Okay.
create custom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there are multiple result keys, right? There are
Yes.
multiple rule result, no? Okay.
Yes. We will define our own because that is where actually standard path has a drawback, because it is associated with only one default value, default rule result, and everything it will goes to irrespective of request type or anything. It will execute. It's a common workflow.
Mm-hmm.
So to get our requirement as per the business requirement, we will go for customization. That in terms of now we have a many inputs, but output is only one, many to one. But our scenario, many inputs, different paths, different requirements. It has to go to different out paths. That is where many to many scenario, the standard solution will not be possible, and we will go to BRF plus customization. Actually, I want to tell that in after 4 or 5 sessions. But today you asked me, but I've showed you.
Okay. Okay, Grish.
Okay, yesterday we have seen two scenarios. One is normal workflow, then another one is escape route. Okay, so we will continue with the same scenario, but we will enable SOD violation. In case of any SOD violation, the same workflow, but we want to enable. In case of SOD issues, then we will route for a separate path. If there is no issues, then it will goes to normal common path. This is our original path: manager, role owner, security. If SOD would come, then the role owner we will divert or we will route path to SOD. Once SOD approved, then automatically user provision. You understand the use case, right? Today what we are going to discuss. Hello.
Yes, 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 Grish.
Yeah. So the use case is, then there is a bypass in case of any SOD violation. So how
So,
we will,
okay, so at role owner, is there any SOD complete that it will route to the SOD approval?
yeah, we have full house.
Uh,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You were saying something? Sorry. At role owner stage. Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm selecting default path. Default path has 3 stages. Now we need to divert at role owner. Modify, show details. So there is a routing enabled. Okay. We will click on the routing enabled. So here SAP by default it has given 4 rule IDs. That is SOD violation with no role owner, SOD violation, training verification, and no role owner. In case of there is no role owner, we will skip the original path and we will move this to whenever any other path which is required, we will bypass to the new path from the original
No.
path.
So, Greece, then what is the difference between MSP route no roller versus escape path? Isn't that the same?
Sorry.
What's the difference between escape path versus the last one, no roll owner?
See,
So basically, at the time of roll owner, even if you have escape route,
okay.
it should go there. In this case, you're still going to go where? It's the
No, no.
same thing, right?
Okay. The first one, escape route, it has to notify to security team. Okay. That is the purpose which we have configured. The no
Okay.
role owner, even we can configure security or in case any
I
standards
see.
of
I see.
system agent, any system owner or any role owner, we can route to that particular role owner, specific role owner. We can bypass that as well. We can configure whenever
Hold on,
it
hold
is
on.
required.
So these two, GRAC, MS route, no rule owner, how would this work? Because you're saying if there is a routing rule and the writing rule is only for detour of SOD violation, right? That's the
No,
stage you are getting, correct?
right now we are using only SOD violation. Okay.
Okay.
We
Mm-hmm.
have already set up for no approver not found. The approver not
Mm-hmm.
found, okay, the approver not found is configured, which we have configured right now. That is, if the manager is not there, role owner is not there, security agent is not there, any stage the approver is not there, it is route for the uh, security team. But this specific condition, if there is no role owner identified only for this particular stage, we can move this to separate path if required. Are you getting me?
Yeah, Grish, I got
Yeah. So SOD violation. Always SOD violation should be stage level. Why? Because whenever routing will happen, the complete request will transfer to next path. If it is a line item level, only the specific line item level will trigger. So the mitigation is bit difficult because you can identify the changes if it is multi. We can observe the difference between line item and stage level. If we have submitted 2 requests, one is basis example P2P role, another one is finance role. If it is a stage level, then it is bit difficult. The role owners are different. We are bypassing 2 different paths. So it is bit difficult to trace the particular request where it is. So instead of that, the complete request we will route and we will be able to check the request current, what is the status and what stage level it is routing and with whom it is pending approval. So everything will be, it's a kind of a simplification. So stage level. Now, not only we have to enable the condition, also we need to enable the condition, same condition at task settings, stage level, save. Okay. Now,
Greece, one question. Even if you modify task
yes,
listing, right?
definitely,
Because okay,
definitely.
it doesn't come there automatically. It doesn't come there
No,
automatically.
it won't come because
Okay.
there is a possibility this is kind of a task settings. If we have maintained any rule ID, that will be override
Okay.
because this task will dominate the main page which we have set before. Okay, someone has a question.
No, Girish, here why we are taking SOD file so we can take the no role owner, right?
No, for any agent approver, we have already addressed it, right? See, we have already maintained approver not found.
Okay, okay.
So for any owner, so we have already addressed that issue. Right now,
Yeah,
for any SOD, we want to make sure that it needs to be moved to separate path, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now I'm just saving. Okay, is our configuration completed?
No.
No, right? We have to configure, we have to show once the risks are coming, then we have to bypass to separate ZSOD path. Okay, for that, what we have to do is we need another path, ZSOD. So, SOD stage. 1 minute. Okay, before doing that, I'm just saving. So now we want to add a custom agent, direct mapped user. For a one particular person, he will be able to approve all my SODs or for that particular stage. Okay, the agent determination. We have a four types of agents: direct mapped users, PFCG roles, PFCG user group, and API. So right now we will consider as direct mapped users. So to create custom any agent, we have to add ZSOD agent, purpose approval, direct mapped user. We have to create any group. SOD user list might be admin. I think. So this is a user I know familiar, so I've selected this user. Save, add. Admin already assigned approver. Okay, so that is already existed. I have saved double times. So I'm selecting SOD. Save. So I have created the direct SOD agent. So right now what I'm doing, I need one path, one stage, one approver to approve the request. For that I have created path. Since agent needs to be created before to create the stage, because we need to do mapping, that is the reason I have created agent. Now we need to map again. I will come to this stage, path, add. So to create, I'm getting 200. See, for any custom agent, if you want to map, you have always select default stage. The stage description is SOD. This is SAP recommended. You have to select standard. Any custom agent you have to map to default stage. Now I'm selecting my custom agent SOD. Okay. So there is no routing enabled, not required. So anyone approve? Save. Any doubts till now? So I'm doing modification setting. Approve despite
Actually, routing enable. Okay, so I mean, what is the purpose of that setting here?
See, for even we can, if any further, if you want to bypass anything, then you can route. See, this is also stage, right? There might be
Yes.
any condition you can set. This is also normal stage. If you want to bypass, you can bypass to some other path. This is loop in loop, right?
Okay.
Condition.
Okay.
So like every stage we have a facility, you can route in case of any um, like routing conditions or any detour conditions is which is required. Now I have created path, I have created a stage, I have created a custom agent, direct mapped users. Risk analysis mandatory, approved despite of risk, because this is the last stage. In case any approval, sorry, any SOD would be there, it has to be approved. That is the reason I have selected approved despite of risk in terms of settings. Okay, basic conditions. Then notifications, if you want, you can create a notifications same as before. Current approvals, same. Right now,
Please, what is the use of this space config ID? We are always putting that GRAC default.
which one? This one?
Yeah. You just now told, right?
Okay, the SAP has the standard. This is the custom agent, right? Okay,
Yeah.
if you observe, there are some standard agents which are API rules. Okay, it has some
Yeah.
internal standard programs which is developed, internal function module programs. Whenever the custom agent came, this is our requirement. Okay, the function module should trigger, identify the particular stage, right? That is the reason SAP has provided default stage for custom agents. So you can select the default stage so that the internal function module program will trigger, then it will identifies the respective owner which is created custom agent. That is a basic regulation from SAP. We
So
can create
whenever we
any
create,
custom agent, but the chances it is very less. We'll discuss in BRF plus
okay,
whenever
so
this
if you are creating custom agent, then always we need to give this
yes
as a
stage.
con.
Stage is a default
Yeah.
stage. You can pass the value in a different, but if it is a custom agent, then you have to select always a default stage.
Okay.
Okay. Now we have completed the standard configuration. We have completed the detour path, but we have to map to our initiator rule. Whenever the condition we have met already condition, right? We have already set the condition. So based on the condition, we are bypassing this path. So for that, what we have to do is a stage 002. Now I'm coming to maintain route mapping. So this is my standard path. This is my standard path. Now add. So the SOD violation. We have selected SOD violation, right? Routing. Rule result is a standard one. From path. From is a default path. Which is stage? Sequence 002 roll owner it needs to pick up. From which path it has to go to? SOD. So this is my default SOD violation rule, routing rule I have selected. Since it is a standard, the standard rule result value from path is a GRC standard path. The stage sequence from this path, from where on which stage we need to trigger routing. So this is 001 to roll owner stage. To which path I need to go? SOD. See, right? Standard. We have created separate path, separate stage, separate agent. We have kept a routing condition at a roll owner and we have selected SOD based on SOD. Violation and SOD rule. From path is its default path, roll owner stage and we have selected SOD path. And SOD path has only one stage. Any questions? So I'm just activated. Okay.
Grish, question. So on the if it goes from there to your SOD SOD path, and you're saying there is only one stage there, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So that stage is it is going there. So after that, let's say he approves it, agent approves it, then it should go back to security team, right? You did
No,
not put
not
that.
required. Now, why it is required? We can do that. We can add
No,
multiple
from okay,
stages.
okay. So if the agent approves, which path does it go?
SOD agent approves,
Huh?
automatically provision. That is what our requirement. Huh? Manager, role owner, if SOD, then it will goes to SOD. Once SOD
So
mitigated or approved despite of risk, user will be provisioned.
but you can also bring it to security also, right?
We can do that. That is not an
Okay.
issue. We
That's
can add n number of stages. See,
okay. Okay.
I don't know whether right now we discussed because okay. Anyway, the situation came right. SAP recommended maximum 5 number of stages, not more than that, because the ARM request process is to speed up the user provisioning or user created in the system. Okay, that is the ideal. If you are increasing number of stages, suppose you have added another security stage, you have added another system owner or department head. Example. So as soon as the request submitted, manager it will take 1 day, ideal condition. Roll owner it will take 1 day, 2 days. SOD it will take May. Generally compliance managers they are very busy with the audit and everything. They may take 2 days. Ideal scenario. It is not kind. At least 1 day. So 3 days already completed. Security. Security is occupied with work. So 4 days. Almost user is waiting 4 days to create the user. Instead of that, whenever we send approval via email, We'll send reminders, couple of reminders on the same day. At least by next day, we'll try to create the user account in production system. If you are still increasing number of stages, the number of days will increase. Okay. You remember in our last project, even we are keeping reminders for a particular stage, they are not approving. 1 week, 2 weeks. There might be a transition problem. There might be a travel. There are business trips. We cannot mention that a particular reason. Okay, only because of this reason. There are different reasons. The request which is submitted is might be onboarded, and we don't know what exact responsibilities for the particular employee. I'm also manager. He won't respond. So by considering all the reasons, we will create one stale request, that is some stale period, 20 days or 21 days. After that, we will cancel the request. There is a different strategies we will discuss once the Msmp scenario is completed, how to set reminder and how to cancel the request, because we cannot keep open the request for 40 days or 50 days, right? So that is the reason, at least as less as minimum number of stages, that simplifies your workflows and speed up the complete user administration process. Okay, we
There
can
is
create,
one question.
we can, mhm,
There is normally, for example, in the past, there are three stages: manager, role owner, and security.
mhm,
Now, in the role owner stage, we encounter the risk, and after that, it is diverted to SOD.
mhm.
Now, the person responsible for this approving the risk will approve the request, and once he approves, will it again come back to the initial part in which security stage
No,
is also involved
no. We want to, if we want to security, we will add security stage here. See,
in the SOD part itself?
yeah, for that, I was expected this question. So I have created another scenario. This is a normal
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is SOD part. See,
Okay,
the
okay,
problem
okay.
is in the industry, everybody was by default, the scenario will be like this: manager, role owner, and security, SOD, and security. Ideally, that will not come to picture. I don't know, but we'll work on different scenarios when we are going BRF plus the use cases, so that once you are okay with the simplified scenarios, then your thought process will enable, then automatically will do some different use cases, not for generic. Okay.
Okay,
like,
okay.
like how this
Understood.
one. Okay, I have a scenario for you. Maybe in BRF plus we'll discuss production and non-production, everything operations from one GRC system. So that is very
Okay.
complex. And the requirements are, for production path, we will perform risk analysis, route enabled, and everything. For non-production, we don't require risk analysis. Okay. So there are different scenarios. We can route based on the system. We can do that. That that many to many
Okay.
condition will not discuss in standard. That needs to be discussed in BRF plus only.
Hey,
So we'll,
Girish,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
question here. So, someone is talking.
yeah, yeah.
So, Girish, so here, right, you put that to SOD, right? Then and it went, once it is approved, it goes to provisioning, right?
Yes.
So, what if the SOD, the mitigation is not there for a critical issue? Is it going back to the role owner
No, no,
to
no, no, no,
remove
no,
the
no, no.
roles?
See, there is a two possibilities in this SOD. Okay. Better. Okay. See, for that, what we will do, if the approver will not have mitigation, Okay, the approver can create the mitigation control, initiate the new mitigation control, or they will enable mitigation assignment in separate. They will trigger workflow within workflow. That generally mitigation assignment workflow that will not we have not initiated, but I will definitely cover one scenario to avoid these kind of situations only. Third stage, I have selected approve despite of risk, one thing, and also I have created one mitigation control with all risks for you.
So what you're saying here is like Girish, you're just approving even though you have a risk, and it's not going back to the role owner to remove the role which is causing the problem,
So no
right?
remediation, no remediation. See, they right now you were talking about the remediation part.
A couple of things, right? So see, I agree that he's approving it. So what if he doesn't want to approve it?
He can
What is
reject the
the
request.
scenario?
He can reject the
No,
request.
not rejecting, right? So he has to go back to the role owner. Hey, I have two roles you submitted. I want to give only one, and I remove the other one which is causing SOD. So what's going to happen at that point?
Okay.
Because I don't see your PPT. I did not see that arrow over there.
Okay.
It's just doing a one directional arrow.
Okay. 1 minute. Why he needs to send to role owner?
Yeah, because let us say, for example, right?
Because the ultimate decision would be SOD, compliance level. Okay. If you want to remove one role, he can remove role.
Who will remove role? Who?
SOD. He can reject one role and he can approve one role.
But you're not talking about line item, right? You're talking about everything, right?
See. Okay. Let me submit the request. We can perform operations at line item level.
But at role level, role owner stage, okay, Grish, there is possibility, right? Role
Yes,
owner
yes.
also can reject the role, I mean, cancel one role and keep one role.
Yes, we'll do that. But I want. Okay, I have selected demo. Demo is getting risks. Select my. Okay, I have selected this one. I just want to perform risk analysis before submitting. Oh, my bad. Just give me a minute. That basis. This role is there. Okay, this role is there. Okay, yeah. Okay, two roles. Okay, submitted request. Okay, so now the request 9 came to my work inbox as manager. Okay, see, but manager. mm, Okay, manager will approve the request. Let me... So the cost details is not set. We'll see. So right now it is with role owner. Okay. We have to set some settings. Otherwise, Shrikant, to answer your question, role owner or compliance manager will select the request at line item level. Right now he doesn't have access, but we can change the request line item level. Here it will get the drop down, and there are a couple of things in this particular scenario. Okay, first thing is the single roles, all the single roles should be SOD free. We discussed. For a composite role level, before going live, we will prepare the mitigation controls. Okay,
Correct.
based
We
on the
discussed
risk.
that.
Since it is a high risk, then we will create the mitigation control. If it is a critical risk, definitely it won't be mitigated. So definitely one of the role should remove from user. Okay. For
Right.
that, what they will do, either role owner or compliance manager, they will select the particular role, action, approve or reject. They can reject, and overall they will approve the request. So that the line item which they have selected, that will be not be assigned. That will not be considered in the risk analysis.
So okay. So basically the SOD, the mitigation SOD owner has a authority to remove the role.
Yes, yes.
That's what you're saying.
Yes, both. Either role owner or SOD, both can do that.
But it's not going to role owner, right? Because the path was not defined. If you go back to your PPT,
Why
there is only one way, right?
it has to go to role owner? That is, first it will comes to role
So,
owner, right? Role owner will approve.
right.
Then based on SOD, it will comes to SOD.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
So if still you want to move to SOD, we can have a facility.
The reason I am asking, so if he SOD guy, the person is remove the role owner did not know that, right? Which one was removed, and you don't know.
No, we can do that. See, there is
Okay.
new role, right? Only the evaluation path. So the new roles, all roles in the request. If you selected this, then the conditions we wrote, it will automatically goes to the conditions which the change request details, add assignment, and path, all the roles reevaluate.
At this point.
So
Got
as soon
it.
as you have selected, then it will goes to role owner.
Role owner again, they approve it.
Yes.
Okay.
The problem is we will. I told you, right? We will not keep this generic scenarios in company because it may get delay, and as soon as the role owner will approve, the compliance managers think about compliance level. If they, even though they have not satisfied, they are independent. Generally, compliance managers might be at a department level or company code level. The company code multiple plans. So might be they can do they want. They want to reject the rules, they can reject the rule.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, somebody
So
has
Grish,
spoken.
Grish, out of context question.
Mhm.
You said few minutes ago, I know it for sure critical risk cannot be mitigated. So critical risk per T code, there should be one critical rule, and that should be added to a critical role composite. No, if the company says that we will only assign composite role, then that composite role, that single role should be contained in only one single composite role, right? For example, you want to give company decide that 30 critical access could be given to few people, okay? So then you have to make 30 single roles and 30 composite roles for that. Am I right?
No, Manpreet. Critical roles handled, everything will be in a different phase. It will not. If the company has decided there is a one parameter we have to set up, and to maintain that particular role in critical roles, we can avoid risk analysis. The handled
I see.
for critical roles is very different. Okay, but ideally, blindly they cannot go and do that. They have to get audit requirement, and they have to convince audit why we should need this access to assign to users, even though it is a critical risk. So everything that needs to be answerable, and once the department and the role owner and auditors, everybody is on same page, the configuration is very simple. We have one parameter, we can avoid risk analysis for the critical
On
profile.
the critical role,
Yes,
right?
yes, that parameter
So
should be maintained. Yes, then we will maintain that role in the critical roles so that it can be
okay,
excluded in our risk analysis. It won't show up
or
in
you
the
can,
risks.
or it could be in firefighter ID, right?
No, generally firefighter roles. See, generally what will
Critical
happen?
roles are firefighter. Yeah. Okay.
Generally, what will happen? The critical roles we will add all the firefighter roles so that if I schedule CC level, role level, single role or composite role level, all the firefighter roles should be excluded so that I don't want to invest my time on background job and system performance and analysis. See, once I will download the report, example, you scheduled background job at risk analysis for 100 roles, 20 roles are firefighter roles. That is a time waste, right? Firefighter roles anyway, it is elevated access. Definitely it is causing risk. High, low, or critical, whatever it may be. So we simply maintain roles here so that it can be excluded. And our analysis and the risk analysis both should be at 80 roles level only. So that we can do analysis at only on 80 roles. Okay, the strategies will be different. Okay, here we are. Okay, we just hmm, so I'm approving at admin level. So I'm already performed the risk analysis. It will trigger. Now action is completed. Now you will have to check the so instant status. Now path is changed. SOD path 200 SOD stage admin. Whatever the admin agent we have maintained, that is it came to admin. Now so SOD stage. So here what I will do, I need to perform the risk analysis mandatory. Okay. Now even if I want to mitigate risk, it is not required. I have set it for approved despite of risk. Even the mitigation control I have created mitigation control as well. Shrikant, another answer to your question. If I am not able to find mitigation control, there is a create mitigation control button. This is at compliance stage level. Okay, we will provide authorization, and if it is a new risk, then they will create the risk. They will create the mitigation control, but the chances is very less because
Okay.
why? Because if you remember the stage which we have discussed, the implementation methodology, get clean, stay in control, the three phases. The get clean phase, we will remove SOD violation at single role level with composite and a business or derived role, very few minimal risks for all modules. Then we will
Hello.
create set of mitigation controls. Okay, set of mitigation controls for all the risks.
Right.
Then
So here,
once we deliver the project to customer,
Mhm.
whatever the new role modifications, we will continuously performing the risk analysis. Suppose if I want to
monthly
modify
basis.
role, then if I observe
Mhm.
the new risks which is not mitigated, there is no mitigation control available, then as a admin GRC SME, I need to create the mitigation control further. The chances is very
Okay.
less. But yes, to answer your question, even approver has a facility to click on create mitigation control, and he will create the mitigation control.
Got it. Oh, one question here is, how does this automatically that control ID came here?
The problem is I have created only one control. Okay. See,
Oh,
the risk ID. If it is multiple, manually we need to select. There are multiple controls would be there, but see, the departments are different, right? Might be company code 1000, 2000, 3000 are different. But for mitigations, what it will do, it will pop up all 1000, 2000, 3000 company mitigation controls. The approver has manually selected appropriate mitigation control. But
so the SOD person should know what to put out there, right?
yes, yes. If it is
Please.
a generic control, that is fine. But sometimes what will happen, companies, they will create region based mitigation controls. Suppose ASIN specific, they will create, even though MIT 01, only they will do basis risks under MIT 01. They will not allow other risks. But for other regions, might be they will include basis and security risks, B star. So like this,
So
region
basically,
specific
there's no
mitigation
linkage,
control.
right? There's no
Yeah,
linkage. Yeah.
yes. So the mitigation control has a risk IDs included. Whatever the risks are being populated, basis risk, it might be multiple mitigations because of Z star or ZB star.
Right.
So the approver has to select appropriate mitigation control. By default, it will be displayed, but approver has to select based on the region. We have to provide guidance to them.
Mhm.
So that is very tricky. Recently, I came to know one of my colleague project. So the approvers, they are giving comment. They were confused and what mitigation needs to be done. So
Exactly. Yeah.
they requested GRC admin team. Request will comes to their working box. The standard notification will also trigger to GRC team. So he asked me how we will set notification. So I've suggested SOD stage, the notification settings, the work item. I've suggested for recipient ID to create one recipient ID for security team. Same like we have created agent right here. Add.
Mhm.
So get security team. This agent is not approval purpose. It's
Notification
notification
only.
purpose. So I have selected PFCG role, their normal security role, so that it won't be assigned to another group, right? So I've suggested either user group or role. They have their security group. What GRC team will do, as soon as the request comes to their work inbox, they have to do what I came to admin mode, right? They have to come here, they have to maintain a mitigation control and save so that it will be mitigated. Once this is completed, they needs to inform to approver.
It's a manual again, right?
Yeah, so they are not going to do that. So the department heads, they are giving a lot of complaints. I have suggested this. You can go and do it. The notification, it will be parallelly sent two notifications. One is approver and another one is GRCT. They will do admin and assign the mitigation control. Once they inform, then
So they have access. They don't have approve access, right?
yes, they just do. No, approve. They cannot approve the request. That is compliance, right? They can just do add the mitigation control and submit it. Approver will do. Approval will approve the request, because if they perform this activity, that is a compliance. They approve the request. That is a compliance issue, right? Security team is approving the request. Sorry, GRC team. So ideally, it cannot be done. So the GRC team will just only assign the appropriate mitigation controls based on region wise.
Girish, actually the GRC team getting the only notification. After that, they are directly
They
manually
will do whatever the request, right? Their work inbox. Sorry.
yes.
They have to come to this search request and what I have done right now. The same thing they have to perform manually. The approval. Once they have completed, then they will send a mail to the mitigation owner. He will just approve the request.
Okay, so GRC team will create the mitigation direct from this
assignment. Just assignment.
Okay, they do assignment and then
approver will approve the request so that they can avoid the compliance issue.
Okay, but log will show something for that, like for example,
mitigation control, it will show, but only the mitigation assignment, right? That they need to convince the customer. Sorry, audit or compliance team. Initially, for a few days, guidance or step by step. Even though we have created a step by step document, it is new to very high level, right? People, they will go and approve the request, and kind of a bit difficult to understand business for initial days. So that we need to provide some assistance. But don't recommend such kind of things. It is unnecessary. It is giving work for security team or GRC team.
Yeah, better to not train them, right?
I was clearly mentioned that to train them, show them how to do that, or create global mitigation controls so that to avoid a region mitigation control, so that it will be unique. You can suggest that.
Right.
So for the same risk, if it is a 5 regions, 5 mitigation controls would be there. They can select any mitigation control they can approve. But from their internal region level audit, they will ask. It should be the name with Asian specific, but you have selected for US user. So
okay,
to avoid such situations, I have suggested a global mitigation control concept so that it won't be there. Risk one would be there, just they need to save it. They cannot select manually mitigation control. But I don't know after that what happened.
So Girish, so how do we reroute that? Let us say I have RTR, PTP, and OTC, right? So ownership, or let us say the
Shrikant, many to many will discuss on
okay
Msmp.
in the scenario, right? Okay. At this
One,
point, you have only
yeah,
only one.
we based on company code, based on business process, we will route. There are a lot of use
Okay.
cases would be there in the future. Wait for a while.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're talking about any, right? That's why I'm confused.
Yes,
so,
yes.
okay.
See, ideally, this is one approver will approve the request. Even companies,
Global approver.
the
for this case.
department head,
This
they
case.
may approve, but it is
Mhm.
very less. One approver will approve the request. The chances is 0.001% only.
Well, I have
Either-
eight approvers.
Either we need to route for based on business process, if not company code, if
Yeah,
not
I think
plant.
business process.
So there might be a one element so that we can route for the approvers. So there is a lot of things we can do um, in BRF class. Okay, this scenario, everything is okay, or do we need any more further explanation for this scenario?
I think I'm good, Girish. I think it's pretty straightforward. I just added one more layer for SOD, and just approving despite of the risk, right?
Yes, even
That's what we did.
mitigation control also.
Yeah.
For safe
And
session
Girish,
time, what will happen? Request
what
will
is
be, but
yeah.
I don't want to miss that provisioning the complete user. Yeah, someone has
The question is like, what if we want to inactivate the workflow?
meaning.
Meaning, right now you're activating. If you go back to the SAP,
the changes will not reflect. See, you may
no.
observe.
Let us say I don't want to use that workflow anymore. What do I do?
We can delete it.
Delete it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can delete it and respect the conflict. The next scenario. The next scenario we will.
Oh, you have it already.
We'll complete remove the standard nature.